Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise to Yahweh, Ba'Hashem Yahushai, Ba'Hashem Rakal Kadash, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, who teach His word in truth and in sincerity. And shout out to Yakim that's out there on the four corners of the earth proclaiming this truth. As you know, yesterday I put up a video telling everyone the truth that Amalek, the Israeli state, had bombed Syria again, the Damascus airport. And so today I'll just show you the aftermath of those attacks. But Esau, like the faggot that he is, took down the videos. Alright, if you want to see the full-length video, just tune in to Confusion of Face Writing 2 channel, which it actually has the video parts that were actually fucking taken down by Esau, the so-called white man. You know, because anything that shows a bit of truth about what's going on, especially this war on Syria, you know, that Esau can't pull off this next false flag because it's already been exposed. Russia's been exposed, as well as many others, been exposed in the fact that they're planning to do a false flag staging crew with the white helmets. Even Roger Waters of Pink Floyd had also pretty much, you could say, prophesied this, you know, about the white helmets being a propaganda piece. So that's what's going on there, and for that, my video got taken down because I told the truth about these goddamn fucking Amalekites, these fucking Edomites. And so, yeah, they took the video down, you know, after about 10 views, which are probably lying about the amount of views that I'd gotten, because, you know, Esau always be fucking with the views and fucking with brothers' streams and all that. I didn't get a strike or anything, but it was moved to private, meaning that only I can view it. So, but if you want to view that video, it's in full length. And it's in the title video on Confusion of Face Writing 2 channel. Esau, you can't handle the truth. Something like that. Esau, this truth is not for you. You know, something among them lines. But pretty much, though, it was the latest video. And, you know, Esau, he's being confounded by this, man. We're going out there and we're teaching on the streets. And we're going into them cities and proclaiming this truth. And, you know, in places you wouldn't think that there was a camp, now they're popping up. They're popping up everywhere. It's a Jakeover because we're coming into this truth. The elect are being sealed right before very eyes. You know, so that's what Esau's afraid of. And this internet is exposing him for everything. Esau's been exposed, has been confounded. And that's why he's taking brothers' videos down and all that, but it's too late. Everybody knows this devil for who he is now. So, anyhow, that's what's going on there, and that's why the video was taken down. So if you want to see the full-length video, just pretty much click on Esau, You Can't Handle the Truth. It's a long-length video, but it's pretty much everything, because I also go into other brothers' videos, you know, for what they're putting up. You know, that's what I used to do to keep fed, because here's what happens, though. If, you know, I look at it this way, the reason why I put a whole bunch of them together for like 2 or 3 hours. I mean, most people fucking sit on their ass and fucking watch Good Morning America, and that's 2 or 3 hours long, so why not just watch 2 or 3 hours worth of the truth? You know, other brothers breaking down videos, doing sit-downs, putting lessons together. Why not just watch 2 or 3 hours of that? So that's why I do it, not to mention I'm resharing. I'm paying it forward, what I be watching. So, you know, it's it helps both ways, because of course we're to reshare while we still have this internet. So we'll just take care of this time, and well, now we're going to actually read some articles, because now we can see the aftermath of what Amalek actually did and what they hit, which was an ammunition depot in Damascus airport. Shalom, and so without further ado, here's some of the wreckage of that ammo depot that was blown up by the Israeli state. And the Israeli state has continued many attacks since yesterday, and I'm going to read some of them articles here in just a minute, but here's the aftermath of that ammo depot that they had blown up near Damascus airport.
صفر؟ لا
And so, without further ado, here's some footage of the recent operations in the Idlib province, which Esau is desperate to save his terrorist groups, including Gomer. Gomer is also trying to save their terrorist groups, which used to be a deal with United Socialist States, whatever you want to fucking call it, Babylon the Great. It has many names, but mostly Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots. So anyhow, they're pounding the shit out of the fucking terrorist groups in Idlib. So, like I said, if they fucking take down this video, just go to the larger length video, which will be on Confusion Face Reading 2 channel.
شفت النار شلون؟
يا ضي النار والله طلعت نار.
حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل.
الشامع 3
واحد بجنب الجامع.
And so Lavrov, which is the Russian foreign minister, stated this: "We will continue to support Syria in combating terrorism." Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov reiterated that his country will continue to provide support to Syria to combat terrorism and to reach a political solution to the crisis in it based on the Security Council's resolution number 2254. In a speech at the International Relations Institute in Moscow on Monday, Lavrov underlined the necessity of eliminating terrorism in Idlib city, saying it is impossible to allow the status quo to remain as it is today. He indicated that terrorist groups positioned in Idlib continually violate the ceasefire of hostilities agreement, and they continue their provocations against the Syrian Arab Army. Lavrov added that these terrorist groups use Idlib as the basis for preparing terrorist attacks and to launch drones toward the Russian airbase in Haman in Latakia countryside. He said that Russia cooperates with the Syrian state in the reconstruction, and it will continue to provide aid to achieve the recovery of economy and infrastructure. Lavrov asserted that Russia is coordinating closely with its allies across the world to achieve security and stability and to solve the international crisis on the basis of dialogue in a way that would guarantee the interest of all the parties. And a lot of these other countries that may right now be against Russia on that, they're starting to line themselves up with Russia, especially when it comes to this aggression against Iran. You know, they're starting to agree with them. So you watch these allies that have been helping America with the terrorism in here. They're eventually going to break off from America. They're already getting fucking tired of fucking goddamn America. Speaking of that bitch America, here's another article that I pulled up. U.S. will do whatever it takes to stop Assad from freeing Idlib, Syrian general. And here's a picture here. Russia's ongoing large-scale training exercises in the Mediterranean Sea, held by the country's navy and aerospace forces, support Syria against political Western aggression. Retired Brigadier General al-Musqad, a Syrian military strategy analyst, told Sputnik Arabic. According to the analyst, Syria is being targeted by both regional and international forces. Currently, the Syrian Arab army, backed by its allies, is advancing into southern Syria and preparing for an all-out Idlib operation. Naturally, jihadists and their sponsors are dissatisfied with the developments on the ground, he highlighted, adding that they would do whatever it takes to prevent the government troops' offensive. Muscat believes that the United States and its Western allies are getting ready for a strike on Syria. Under these conditions, the true goal of the Russian drills in the Mediterranean Sea is to deal a blow to the impending aggression. The arrangement and conduct of the military exercises implies cooperation on the political and diplomatic levels between Russia and its allies. The result of these drills will be stability in the region, the retired brigadier general said, adding that the White Helmets and the other rebel groups would not be able to carry out a chemical provocation in Syria. Kremlin drones launched by Idlib terrorists threaten Russian bases in Syria. The countries of the region have boosted relations and improved coordination. He explained Iran confirmed through Russia intermediaries that it is working and will work to establish stability and peace in the region. According to Moscow, the U.S. has backpeeled on its initial offensive plan. The terrorists, aka Americans, have deployed radar defense systems in Al-Shada, a town in Al-Haska governorate in the north of Syria. This system is meant to protect the base for their air attacks. I think they are preparing to defend themselves, the analyst suggested. So, either way, though, this thing's going to escalate. The ongoing exercises came to the heels of the U.S. threat to act very strongly in the case of the Syrian government reports to the use of chemical weapons during the upcoming advance on Idlib, the last terrorist stronghold in Syria. Simultaneously, Moscow warned about the possibility of a chemical provocation by jihadists to provoke the U.S.-led coalition into retaliating against Damascus. So, either way, though, pretty much this war is just drawing in all these countries, but there's more. And this one's breaking. Breaking. Israeli state reportedly bombed strategic Syrian town. Minutes ago, a military source in western Syria told Al-Masdar that several explosives rocked the strategic town of Masyaf in western Hama. According to the source, an Israeli state warplane was spotted flying along the Syrian-Lebanon border before crossing into the Homs governorate. The source added that 5 minutes struck the Wadi al-Anian area. No further details were released at this time. Mayaf was the location of the July assassination of a Syrian scientist. It was believed Israeli state was behind this. So, again, you know, that just happened a few minutes ago, but wait, there's more. Update, 1 killed by Israeli state attack on western Syria. And you can see that there. The Israeli State Air Force launched a fresh attack in western Syria today, striking the Wadi al-Ayan area of Masyaf district. At least 5 missiles managed to strike the Wadi al-Ayan area, resulting in several explosions that could be heard throughout western Syria, according to a military source. In Mahadash, at least 1 person was killed and 4 others were critically wounded as a result of the Israeli state in the Hama governorate's Masyaf district. The Israeli State Air Force has reportedly been stalking the Syrian-Lebanese border before they launched this powerful attack. So yeah, man, there's more though. 8 Iranian-backed fighters allegedly killed by the U.S. coalition in southern Syria. At least 8 Iranian-backed fighters were killed by the U.S. coalition in southern Syria recently, the Syrian Observatory for Human Rights said on Monday. According to the SOHR, 8 Iranian-backed fighters were killed and 11 government were injured as the Al-Tanf zone of southern Syria. The Rudolph news agency said that the U.S. coalition did not immediately confirm the SOHR report. Al-Masdar reached out to a government source in Damascus. He stated that he has no information on the latest claim. Typically, these bombings are first reported by the troops in southern Syria. However, no pro-government units reported this. So again, pretty much, man, they're escalating this war because eventually they just want to oust Bashar al-Assad.
U.S. will invade Iran with military force by end of the year, expert claims amid World War III fears. The U.S. is expected to invade Iran with military force by the end of this year after the war of sanctions escalates, an expert has claimed. The U.S. and Iran are currently at loggerheads over sanctions following the breakdown of the nuclear deal, and the Islamic Republic has gone to the highest court of the United Nations to contest it. But German political scientist Joseph Braml believes the decision by the International Court of Justice will be ignored by the U.S. He goes on to say that Donald Trump is probably already planning airstrikes, and he not only wants to hit the regime in Tehran, but also China. When asked if he expected military strikes, Mr. Braml said, "Yes, I assume that the Americans will take military action against Iran later this year. I can't really imagine an attack with ground troops. Presumably there will be targeted airstrikes to eliminate Iran's nuclear capabilities. This is only logical. If the then German Foreign Minister Steinmeier was right, that a war was prevented with the 2015 deal, we must conclude that war is coming after the one-sided resignation by America." He goes on to say that there are only two options. The expert added, either the U.S., Israel and Saudi Arabia agree that Iran may, in principle, continue to develop nuclear capacity, or not. If not, it will mean what the late Senator John McCain and Trump's current security advisor John Bolton have openly demanded years ago: bomb Iran. The expert's comments come after Iranian Supreme Leader, Ayatollah Khamenei, warned the country's president and his cabinet they can't rely on the support from European countries for the landmark agreement after the U.S. withdrew itself from the accord. Mr. Khamenei said Iran might take the extreme step to abandon the deal altogether because of a lack of faith in the ability of European countries. He made the remarks during a meeting with the president of Iran, Hassan Rouhani. Mr. Khamenei said in a post on his website Iran should give up hope on Europe over economic issues or the nuclear deal. He added, "The nuclear deal is a means, not the goal, and if we come to this conclusion that it does not serve our national interests, we can abandon it." European countries have been working hard to keep Iran in line with the nuclear deal by making sure Tehran receives economic benefits. The swift action from European leaders follows Donald Trump's withdrawal from the historic agreement. Since the U.S. withdrew from the accord, Iran has endured economic problems as a result of sanctions implemented by Trump.